Toulouse get the Champions Cup this season underway with an away win at Gloucester. It was a pretty interesting game. I saw all but the first few minutes, which must have been an interesting watch, I guess, because by the time I turned on, it was already 7 minutes gone, and it was 3-0 to Toulouse, and they put the stats up on the screen, which said Toulouse had had to make one tackle in those first 7 minutes. So, yeah, I guess that was kind of the story of this game. I'll go through some of the stats in a bit, but overall, I'd say it's a pretty big win for Toulouse. They had a try through Beasy, the halfback. They had 6 penalties and a conversion. For Gloucester, it was 2 tries to Simpson, 2 conversions, and 2 penalties. So 20 points scored for Gloucester in the first half. They were up 20 points to 9 at halftime, but all those points scored by Toulouse in the second half were able to just kind of run them down. So Simpson's tries were both pretty great. I think one of them was the first one from the line-out turnover. Yes, the line-out turnover, and he just went on quite the run. He beat a few men and was almost tackled at the death, but was able to get the ball down. He made it 7-3 with that try. Toulouse kicked penalty. Simpson, though, got a second try. It was about on the 22-meter line in his own half. And again, it was from a loose ball at the breakdown, and he just showed some absolute gas. Really phenomenal stuff. So made it 14 points to 3. When it was 14-3, that second Gloucester try, Gloucester had less than 25% possession and less than 20% territory. And Toulouse, surprisingly, their tackling was less than 50%. Well, I think it was at 50%. So, yeah. Toulouse having all the ball, but Gloucester getting all the points. It got a bit messy. Both sides kind of kicked out on the full. You could, I guess, see seemingly the impact of some of the international guys coming back from the World Cup, maybe making the squad slightly disjointed. But I guess that kind of stuff will be ironed out as the season goes on. Halftime, it was like 34% possession to Gloucester, 31% territory, but they were tackling at 86%, and they had to make 76. Whereas Toulouse had to make 24 and were at 65%. So, but if you looked at the run meters, it was 322 to 222. So, despite Toulouse doing all that, or having all that ball, it was Gloucester able to really hold them up. But second half, it, I guess, got a bit tiring. Maybe Toulouse's execution got a bit better. The ref was blowing the whistle a bit more because the penalties were up in that second half for sure. Toulouse did finally manage to score a try through the halfback Beasy after they went like 19 phases, and he just picked the ball up and just put it at the line when they were just about a meter out. So it definitely wasn't convincing, but it was predicted to be a close game. It was a game of two halves, which is a cliche, but it's true. Just able to convert all those penalties. I mean, Huget went close for one try, but the TMO kind of rightly ruled that one was lost for, but Huget did really well to almost get there. I think Gloucester will look back at their line-out and be pretty gutted with how poorly that went. The final stat for that was 7 out of 14. For a professional outfit to be thrown at 50% is pretty bad. For Toulouse, Elstad and Klus both had 2 line-out steals, so they were doing a fair bit of the damage in terms of disrupting what was going on. Penalties conceded in the end was 11-8, so it wasn't as lopsided as it felt watching. It felt like Gloucester were getting penalised a lot, but if that's the total, that's the total. Toulouse in the end ended up dominating the run meter 634 to 470. They had 71% possession, 73% territory. They'd lifted the tackling rate to 77%. But damn, man, Gloucester had to make 224 tackles. There's more that they would have attempted, but that's the amount they made. They tackled at 86%. So, if nothing else, you give them credit for staying in that game, for competing at the breakdown, for causing problems. But ultimately, the lack of point scoring in the second half was kind of their undoing. So I think they've got a trip to France next to Gloucester, so we'll see how they go. But for Toulouse, I guess it's a good start to their Champions Cup season. And we'll see if they do go on to be one of the genuine contenders. So deserved losing bonus point to Gloucester for sure. And yeah, pretty decent away win for Toulouse. In terms of individuals, Ludlow had 26 out of 29 tackles. Simpson ended up with 147 run meters, 6 defenders beaten. I mentioned the line-out steals, but Gitoon had 127 run meters for Toulouse and 9 defenders beaten as well. So, yeah, wasn't a perfect game. Game of two halves, but yeah, it's an interesting start to the Champions Cup season. So we'll see how things go. There's a ton of games on tomorrow. I'll have to really pick and choose which ones I'm going to watch. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.